This is Braun Strowman, the monster among men, and you're listening to the Bob Culture Podcast with your host,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very special episode of the BCP. I'm very excited for this one, guys. Finally, after the release of her long-awaited and award-winning documentary, Being CBunny, please welcome to the show. She is the GM of the Goddesses of War brand, dancer, drummer. I'm so excited to talk about. Rapper, leader of the Bunny Club, our good pal, Miss CBunny.
Hi. I'm not with you.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Doing good. You know, it's been a crazy year, but doing the best we can. I'm so appreciative for the likes of you and all our other guests coming on. It's great to connect over Skype and talk to you guys. And I mean, there's so much I want to talk about. I want to get right to the drums, but we'll start with this. Got to talk about the documentary. I was doing my homework. Watched a little bit of it. I'm like, all right, let me take a glance at this. I got sucked right in. It was really good. Tell us a little bit about like your mindset, kind of creating a documentary like this, award-winning.
Oh man, so how it came about was I was training one day and this guy from New York walked in. He's actually a screenwriter, filmmaker, and he had a project that he was working on, but that involved wrestling. So he was doing research. So he came to our school just to see the raw experience of it. And he sees me to the side I have to take my hearing aid to my ear, and I'm hard of hearing, everybody. We're gonna talk about that. But I had to take my hearing aid to my ear because when I wrestled, my hearing aid would fly out. So I was talking about that, and then we just kind of looked at each other, and I introduced myself, and I shook my hand with him, and we started talking, and he actually said, I would love to do a story on you. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I thought it was just gonna be like a one-day shoot, and then he'll put it on YouTube right away. No, this guy Tom took it to the next level. He rented a studio space. He came to New Jersey to my school. He did a lot of research, and we took the film to Florida for a film festival. We took it to New York. We were about to go to California the day I was about to fly out, and he was already there for the film festival. The film festival got canceled because of we had that little thing called COVID, and but I didn't. It started off as it was gonna be a wrestling story, but then the more we cultivate it, we're like, no, we have to tell my story, and I'm truly blessed because growing up, I've always felt alone. I didn't think there was anybody out there like me, anybody out there with a disability. And ever since this film came on board and ever since I put myself out more on social media, there's so many. And I'm like, where have you been all my life? So I'm very happy for this documentary finally being out because the main goal is I want that little girl in middle school who thinks she had nobody to look up to see, hey, it's gonna be okay. I want to be the big sister of the hearing impaired and deaf community here.
That's awesome. That's really inspiring. I do want to get to the drum stuff, but I do, I work with kids. I teach drums, and some of the kids I teach are hard of hearing or deaf or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of it has to do with vibrations. Some of them have audio processors, not even hearing aids.
Social implant.
Yeah, stuff Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. So it's very crazy and interesting. But I love how the kids connect with the drums and all that stuff. So you told a little bit about your story, and I'm watching the documentary, and the first thing that not the first thing, but something, I see that picture of you with the drumsticks. I'm like, she's a drummer. So when I saw you at Goddesses, I was like, are you a drummer? So tell us a little bit about how you got into the drums.
Oh my God. So yes, when I was 5, yes, I was very big into dancing. But growing up, I cannot believe I forgot her name. But we had Miss America, and she was deaf. So that was a big deal. We had the first ever Miss Deaf America, and she was a dancer, a ballet dancer. And they asked her how do you hear the music? She's like, I feel the beat. And it just clicked with my mom. Why don't we put you into drum lessons? So she got me private lessons with I need to find this guy, but my teacher, and I'm in 4th grade, and I'm just this little kid learning how to play the drum set. And people don't, and I had a natural talent to it. And when I first played at the concert at school, that was the first time people looked at me as more than a hearing impaired girl. They were like, "Whoa, like she's playing the drums," and instantly that's when I got hooked with performing. And with playing the drums, because of my relationship with the drums, and you'll understand this 100%, it's second nature to the count, to the upbeat, to the downbeat. And because of my relationship with drums, it helped me out with dancing. So as soon as I go into the dance room, I don't need to hear the words. I just hear boom, boom, ba-da, boom, ba-dum. Like, you just, so drumming really helped me create the foundation to help me learn other skills.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And I thought the same thing because, like, I've been playing drums since I was 11 years old forever. Like, I love it. I have really good rhythm. I know music. It's great. I can't dance at all. I'm a terrible dancer. I have rhythm, but I guess I don't have like the finesse. I don't know. What advice would you have for someone who's a very bad dancer like me?
Just keep it simple. The Jack Morris dance, step, touch, step,
Okay.
touch. And with the drumming, I wasn't just in the I was in the marching band, the jazz band. But when I started being a theme park performer, I got to combine dancing and drumming. It was a show kind of like Stomp, but I just went freaking nuts, beating the hell out of trash can. It was just, that was the most funnest show I've ever been in my entire life. 6 times a day, just beating the shit out of trash can. It was great.
So, and you sent me the video. I was blown away. I was like, this is awesome. I kind of want to do some of this with like our drumline kids. So I'm stealing some of your ideas.
Do it.
Sure. But you talk about the dancing and watching the documentary. Again, I got sucked right in. I believe it was TPain you got to be back up for. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
So you'll see if you're watching the documentary, you guys actually got a sneak peek of the audition. Not a lot of people. I'm very grateful for this film. The pivotal moments of my life happened to get on camera, and somehow I was able to get the footage of the audition. And pretty much back in the day when we just had like MySpace and we didn't have TikTok or anything, there was just a website called dancejam.com. TPain just wanted to use real dancers. So we had a dance contest online. You submit a freestyle, and then I got this email saying, "Hey, you got the call back. We're flying into Miami." And then if you watch the documentary, you'll see from there how I was able to land my spot and opportunity to dance with TPain. But it's pretty cool. I'm hoping they'll watch the documentary so we can connect again.
Yes. Hey, never say never, but that's so cool. You're going so far. And right now, obviously, general manager and very involved with Goddesses of War brand, a key player there. What does that mean to you to have that role at the amazing Goddesses brand?
It is awesome because it's getting to I've never been a heel before, so it's fun to kind of search deep into my core, like the bad stuff that I went through in my life. And it's just great now to go in. I'm like, you know what? There's so many times where people are like, pay your dues, do this and that. Like, this is a hard business, and it's very subjective. But when they came up to me and said, hey, we want you to be general manager, honestly, the first thing I said to them, I'm like, do you trust me with the microphone? And they said, yes, we understand you just fine. And that's an insecurity because I get made fun of a lot for my speech, my voice. And listen, I understand with my disabilities, there's something that could tell you, oh, you know what, it's just a little bit off. I can't pronounce my S's. If I can't hear the sound, I can't say it. Like, it's like if I put you into China and put you a plastic bubble over your head, go speak the language, can't hear it. So the fact that the people of Goddesses of War surpassed all my insecurities and said, no, we want you to have the mic. And the second I turned heel and there was a pop, I was like, oh, this is good. Like,
you like it, and you mentioned like you come into contact with people who aren't always so nice, but you don't let any disability that you have or any hearing impairment define who you are. To me, I'm like, she's a drummer. Yes, that's awesome. You're a wrestler, even better. And I love what you said about like, hey, do you trust me on the mic? I got to do commentary for the first time last Saturday for Goddesses, which I'm so appreciative of, and it was really great. It was good. I was glad to get to call stuff with you involved and all these great ladies. I love it. So you're so just like, I love this wrestling community. It gives so much to us. It gives us opportunity. What are your goals moving forward in the wrestling world?
Oh, it's definitely now because I did take it back. Like I did kind of hang up my wrestling boots. I had way too many concussions in 3 years.
Really?
Way too many. I had 7. Yeah. I don't know. Listen, I tucked my shin. I don't know why I keep getting it. So I don't know exactly yet what I would like to do with the wrestling community, but I kind of hope with this documentary it'll pick up and I could work with an organization as far as a charity worker. Like I know WWE had like Be a Star. Like I would love to be involved with them to help with disability and stuff. I mean, I would love to even just be, I just want to have fun now. Like, yes, I miss wrestling, but even if just being a manager, a hype man or something, I just want to play any role that's going to help connect with the people with disabilities. Because the thing about wrestling, everybody has a character, everybody connects with one. And I just don't think there has been that real one yet with the disability. And we need to cater to that audience as well.
Very, very well said. And you mentioned like, don't be a bully, be a star. We talked a little bit off air. You mentioned this a little bit in the documentary. You had to deal with bullies. You had to deal. And I see kids come in and like they just have a bad day at school because one kid is terrible to them. And that's just one time. Like I can't imagine, like you mentioned in the documentary, what you've been through. I mean, how do you overcome that?
I don't know. Can you imagine if we had the social media today back when we went to school? Like, I honestly wouldn't be here. I mean, I definitely faced battles with depression and, like, suicidal thoughts and stuff. So, like, my heart breaks when I hear all this stuff. Really just get into it, obviously, from the love and support from my family. But I'm a born-again Christian, and I strongly believe, no matter what, like, God has a plan. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sticking around for this because this plan has to be so worth it for me being on this earth. And it's important to set goals. So I'm never satisfied. The documentary is out, but now I'm like, no, I got to keep going with that. I got the TPain job. No, I'm not done. I got to do this. You have to keep setting small attainable goals to kind of focus on, to deal off some of the teasing that goes on. But I'm 35 years old. Yes, I'm 35. Look good. I still deal with bullies. I still deal with people making fun of me. On my TikTok, I have people making fun of me all day, every day, making fun of my voice, like just with the mask, it has ruined my life. And I'm 100% for the rules. I will follow, but it took away my skill of lip reading. I'm a functional person. You and I are great right now. But when I go to the store and I have to resort to typing things on my phone and being like, I'm like, this is sad. Like, and I hope things get better so the majority of us can go with our lives. My instructor at my training wore clear mask, and I just started crying. Like, you okay? I'm like, I feel like I hear again. But as far as bullies go, it's just, you just kind of have a crappy day, and then you move on to the next.
Yeah. Don't let them get you down. And you never do. I mean, you're, like you said, you have all these goals, you keep plugging away. And I remember, I did want to touch on this. You touched on this already. I did see that video you posted earlier. I think it was earlier today or yesterday, whatever it was. We were talking about the clear mask. Because when I met you up in person for the first time, I was wearing the dark black mask. And I was just like, oh man, like, I hope this isn't an issue or whatever. And like, we were good. It was no problem. Like, she is awesome. Like, do you play the drums? Like,
yes.
So I wanted to, formally ask you to come on the show. It was great, but you touched on this a little bit. I mean, you got emotional in that video. Just like how much does that mean to you? And maybe more people should wear clear masks.
It's a lot because I work really hard at my other job, and it's no fault of their own. But like, why do I have to endure 6 months of muffled voices and trying to do things on my phone? Like, the one thing that I've learned from going to school is I want to be independent. I don't want anybody babying me. I don't want to feel like a child. It's hard when, it's kind of like an ableist thing. It's hard when people are like, oh, just wear a mask, we all have to do it. Oh, just get a pen and paper, it's fine. I'm like, but you don't get it. Like, on top of dealing with a lifetime of barely understanding what people are saying and finally finding the key to get through it, and then they take it away from you. It's just like, I had to change my entire career, because of the mask thing. And it's it's hard. Like, even people that I know that I need to read their lips, they still keep their masks on and they're just unaware what's going on. I just want to be like everybody else. So if you guys can wear a clear mask, unfortunately it does fog up sometimes, but it's a better alternative to help us. And I wish that would have been mandatory from the get-go, that everybody should have worn a clear mask. Not Spider-Man.
But no, that's a great point. I mean, that never even occurred to me. And now, like, after seeing your video this morning, I watched it. I was like, like, hey, like, anyone listening, like, maybe get some clear masks. That makes a lot of sense, for a lot of reasons, and that's good. You heard it here first.
Yeah, so, and I had a lot of people hit me up saying, hey, guess what? Hey, I ordered a mask, and my following on TikTok blew up, which is, it's just great. Because now I get to access them, and I make videos educating them. How can we accommodate in this pandemic? The hard part about this, yes, we want to follow the rules, whatever our political belief is, whatever, want to follow the rules, but how do we figure this out without breaking COVID guidelines? Me writing stuff on a pen and paper and being next to you, that's breaking COVID guidelines. Like, we need to figure out a solution, and quick. I actually wrote a letter to my congressman. I'm an adult now, but I'm working on it. So if you guys are listening, please just wear a clear mask. If you feel comfortable enough, step away, pull your mask down if you're comfortable with it, and just be more aware of the communication aspect.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm literally writing down clear mask on paper, so I remember. So you talk about, obviously, getting bullied, the haters, which, again, I don't know why anyone is like that. They probably have their own issues, but you put out this stellar documentary. Again, it sucked me right in.
Yeah.
What was the response that you got from everybody once the documentary was released?
My hero, Mick Foley, put my video on his Twitter. Not only he put it on Twitter, he cut a promo. Did you not see this? I posted a million.
I did my homework.
I'm a little kid. Listen, I hate the part in this industry. I don't know if people tell me, like, yo, don't be a Mike. Don't be a Mike. Listen, if I want to wear a shirt that says Hulkamania on it, I'm going to wear it. I love this business. I love being a fan. Why are we excited to do this? Because we grew up watching this. So Mick Foley, yeah, but I met Mick Foley when I was 15 years old. I won a contest. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember WWF.com?
Yes.
Yeah, so, like, he had a contest on the website, and for some reason, this is so silly, he was giving away his guinea pig because his son was allergic to it. So, but I just wanted to meet him. So I wrote this long-ass email, and, like, I sent it, like, 100 times. And I ended up getting, and I told my family, and I remember I got a phone call, like, yo, Mick is on the phone. And I'm like, you're totally pranking me right now. And I said to the guy on the phone, yo, Mick Foley sounds manlier than you. And I hung up. And then, like, 2 minutes later, my dad was like, yo, Mick Foley's on the phone. And then I ended up winning, and I ended up getting to meet him. And being in high school, bullied, depressed out of my mind, to have this opportunity to, like, meet him was like, it was just that high that I needed, that adrenaline rush. And then fast forward to now, I sent it to him through Twitter, and he ended up not only posting it on Twitter, but he did, like, a whole 2-minute video for everybody, hey, why they should watch the film. And then we had a little technical difficulty with it. We got the film back up, and then I sent him a reaction video, and then he wrote on his Twitter, love this reaction. Hey, everybody, I'm a CBunny guy. And I was like,
wow.
So I'm on his Twitter. So that is definitely the highlight reaction that I ever got. So it's great to have Mick Foley advocate for being CBunny. A lot of people are like, wow, like, I went through that as well. Like, it's not just people with disability. Like, people are like, you know what, I didn't fit in high school either. Or, this shows me if I have a hard day, I can keep pulling through. It creates a lot more awareness, and that's the first step to encountering any problem. It's awareness. And it's just nice to know that people can finally see what I'm going behind the mask.
That's an amazing story. That's so cool. I have to go find this video now.
I'm going to send it to you right away. It's awesome. So,
yes, Please do. That's great. And you talk about the response obviously from the likes of a Mick Foley. What's like the response from like the girls in the locker room or the indie wrestling community?
Oh, they hit me up right away. I think we have a mutual respect, and I have to say I've never had a problem with working with somebody who felt uncomfortable with my communication issues. They've all been, as far as the wrestlers go, in my matches I never had a problem with them, and they hit me up in awe. Like, we didn't realize you went through this much. Because anybody that's a wrestler can know, even though it can be a nonverbal communication, calling the spots, kayfabe here, really, really does help. But I don't have that. I don't have that ability to. And it's just really nice to know that they see what I really go through and kind of have more of an appreciation for it. But I want to hear their stories as well. Everybody has a story. That was just mine.
No, I love it. And that's why you guys are here. Like the wrestling community, we've all been through stuff. We've all been through stuff, especially this year. I've definitely been through some stuff, and like everyone, and that includes you, like all the wrestling community have just been there, checking in on me. Casey Navarro, he wears my shirt to the ring. Like everyone has just been, it gets me. Like it really does. And I'm just so appreciative to all of you. And I want to give it right back and give you the platform. So I'm so thankful for this community. Everyone's great. And I wanted to ask you to rewind a little bit. How did you get your start in the business? Like where did the dots connect here?
Well, with wrestling?
Yes, with wrestling. I'm sorry.
Again, setting goals. I had bucket lists. So I'll never do it again, but shout out to Revolutionized Nutrition and Pete Stein Fitness Design. They got me ready for being a bikini competitor. So that was one of my goals. I lost like 30 pounds, and I went, and I'm such a tomboy. So I think it was so horrible. I'll never do it again. But I was able, I'm a tomboy, but to be on stage just wearing a bikini and like heels and just showing that this is my body, this is who I am. As soon as I walked off stage, I looked at my friend and I'm like, I'm gonna go be a professional wrestler now. And they're like, what are you talking about? Because also the show Tough Enough came out and I submitted to that. And they put my picture on the page, and then my favorite female wrestler of all time, Paige, retweeted my submission. And yeah, Paige, I love you so much. And so I was like, you know what? And I didn't get in, but only 1,000 people got like the rejection email. So I felt like that meant something. And I'm like, you know what? It's time to go to school. And then I ended up signing up for school, and everything that I thought was going to happen, how wrestling school was supposed to be, was beyond opposite. What's going to happen. So I started off at WrestlePro. Pat Buck.
With Pat Buck, yeah, friend of the show. Sure.
But I really work more with Mario Bokara and Dan Moss.
I know.
Mario's an Impact, and Dan Moss is in Ring of Honor right now.
Right.
So they were the one that I worked closely. It's a big school, and I will have to say thank you to Mario Bokara. He flat out said, "Yo, you need to go with this CBunnys thing." And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, like go with the And my first faction was named the Death Jam Wrestlers instead of Death Jam Wrestlers. Because my partner was completely deaf.
Oh, really?
So you just had two people that couldn't hear shit. That's one.
Oh, no, so was that if you said WrestlePro, was that like Creative Pro?
Yeah, it was first it was like Pro Wrestling Syndicate, and then you know in wrestling they're just all like,
yeah.
And now it's Creative Pro, that's a pro. And I went to a bunch of schools, and when I moved to Orlando to pursue wrestling further, and I got to work with Santana Garrett of NXT WWE and Lynn Dorado.
That's great.
Yeah. So I got some. It's just amazing what you can learn from so many people.
That's so awesome to hear. And we talked about your goals in wrestling. But and you actually mentioned setting goals for yourself. So I have to ask you, you said there's a lot of there's still a lot of footage left from filming. You're obviously, doing very well with this documentary. What are your goals outside of wrestling?
I want to be on reality TV.
Ooh, I
100%.
like that.
That's my bucket list. I said to everybody, I don't care if I'm at the pivotal of my working career or in school. If I got the opportunity to be on reality TV, I'm out. I need to, as hard as it is, I need to share to the world my story of just being myself and having a disability. But I want to show people you can have fun. Just because you have a disability doesn't mean I have to be restricted. And I want to show them, no, I can be a freaking rock star. Let's have fun.
Love it. That's a great answer. I want to be respectful of your time, CBunny. Thank you for this. I got a few real rapid fire fan questions, if that's okay.
We got fan questions?
Yeah, of course.
Good. Let's do it.
Well, so this one we always like to ask, but I don't know if you're a pizza person, but do you have a favorite pizza spot?
Simone Gardens.
Oh, what town is that? Jersey?
It's in New York, but it's the Sicilian pizza with the sauce on the top. That's the only time I'm gonna call it sauce, by the way. But I'm Italian. I call it gravy.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. That's right. I got you.
Sorry, I know it's controversial, people. It's my culture.
No, there you go. That's how you know it's legit. Favorite wrestler growing up?
The Rock, Stone Cold, Mick Foley, anybody from the Attitude Era, and obviously Hulk Hogan.
Awesome. Your favorite breakfast cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. No, these crunches are awesome.
That's a great answer. Dream. Do you have that WrestleMania? Well, saying you pursue the ring stuff again. That WrestleMania moment. Who's standing on the other side of the ring? Who's the dream opponent?
Paige.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Really good. And I think I know the answer to this one too. But dream tag team partner.
Not even put me on the spot. What do you mean?
I'm guessing you would pick Paige probably again.
Paige, but actually, at this point, it needs to be Mick Foley. We had a conversation with each other, and the best thing we said to each other, cause once I met him 15 years ago, and then we did a Twitter thing. We were DMing each other, and I was like, "Yo, you got me again. You saved me for the hot tag." And he's like, "It's a great hot tag," and I'm like.
Come on.
But I think I would have fun wrestling with Road Dogg because he does a lot of the dancing stuff. Come on, can you imagine us doing this?
Oh. CBunny, next time I see you at Goddesses or whatever, you have to show me at least one solid dance move that I can do.
I got you.
Okay, thank you. But thank you so much for a few minutes of your time. Before we get out of here, where can everyone find the documentary and follow you on social media?
All right, so right away, go on YouTube, type in Being CBunny, it'll show up. It's a 15-minute documentary. You guys can find me on TikTok, Being CBunny 2, Instagram CBunny 2, and Facebook is Christina CBunny signing. So just type in CBunny and pretty much will come through platform. But go right away to Being CBunny on YouTube. Please definitely leave a review. We're trying to get this out there and as much exposure as possible. So.
Love it. Well, thank you, CBunny, so much for a few minutes. Stay safe. I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Drums, doing some dancing.
I gotta show you the drum trick.
Yes. I got some. I can't wait. Thank you. And continued success moving forward.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye, guys.
All right, guys, we're out. Peace.
Yep.